Okay, students, I hope you are all well and healthy and ready to learn a new things. So, my name is Palak Patel. I am working in the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari, in Civil Engineering Department. I am going to teach you the subject is Civil Engineering, Social and Global Impact. In this lecture, we will cover introduction. In the previous lecture, we covered pre-industrial revolution day and sustainability. So these all the topics is covered in the previous lecture. So in this lecture, we will cover global warming, GIS, human development index, and ecological footprint. These all the topic are not so much important, but just understand the definition. Okay, understand the definition of this all topic. Okay, so shall we start? So first is topic is global warming. So what is global warming? Global warming is simple definition is a increase in the average temperature of global atmosphere is called global warming. Increase in the average temperature of global atmosphere is called global warming. How global warming happened is happened because of greenhouse effect. Okay, so what is greenhouse effect? Okay, understand one thing. Yeah. So for the understand the greenhouse effect, you have to imagine one greenhouse here. Look at it. You can see the figure. Greenhouse is used for the plantation and growth some plant, right? Which requires specified temperature and humidity. So we use greenhouse for the plantation, right? So what happened in the greenhouse? Greenhouse there is a sun rays which are short wave as well as a long wave. Sun rays have short wave and long wave. Look at here. I describe all the things in detail. Describe how what is greenhouse gas, how its effect. But this is just a theory matter. This is just a theory matter. I will explain it here. Okay. So short wave, long wave, both we have. So by the short wave, by the glass, you can see here. By the glass, the short wave can transmit easily. By the glass, short wave can be transmitted. But a long wave is reflected. Look at here. Long wave, long wave is reflected. So it's a short wave and here is a long wave. So short wave is transferred inside and long wave is reflected by the glass. Right? So what happened when the short wave is absorbed by the soil, or any other material which is inside a greenhouse. So short wave we absorb. So imagine short wave absorbed by a soil. Okay, first thing, short wave is absorbed by a soil. Sorry. Okay. So short wave we absorb. After absorb, what happened? The ground is generated heat. And what happened? Heat generated a long wave radiation. And this long wave radiation will not pass from the glass. So it will inside again. So I explain erase all the ink. Okay. So imagine here is a short wave is coming inside. Okay. And then after is soil absorb the heat wave and then it's generate a long wave which is reflected by a glass. Look at here. Okay, the long wave is reflected. So inside this wave is generated a heat and you can control a temperature. So this effect called a greenhouse effect. Right? I hope you understand this. This is all the theoretical concept. Right? Look at here. The sun is generated ultraviolet, short wavelength, infrared, long wavelength. Then after this convert a heat to long wavelength. Okay, as a heat. So long wave is return it again, transfer, and then is greenhouse effect. Right? Now, what happened on the Earth as a greenhouse? We have a green. Okay, assume Earth as a greenhouse. Assume Earth as a greenhouse. So where is the glass? In this thing, you can say this glass. Okay, this glass is most important thing for the global warming, for the generate heat inside the greenhouse. But what happened on the Earth? We don't have a glass, right? So, so as a glass, this greenhouse gases is behave as a glass. Greenhouse gases behave as a glass. So which greenhouse gases? First is carbon dioxide, CO2. Second, methane, CH4. You just have to remember these images, name, and this denotation. CO2, CH4. CH4 means one carbon, four hydrogen, right? Just remember the names, nothing else. Greenhouse gases, just remember the names. We will explain, I will explain in detail later what is carbon dioxide, what is methane. I will explain, don't worry about it. Okay, nitrogen oxide, there is N2O. It's called nitrous oxide. Then after chlorofluorocarbon, it's the most important. Chlorofluorocarbon is the most important thing. Ozone, O3. Then after water vapor. So remember the names. So these greenhouse gases is behave as a glass which absorb the heat. Which absorb the heat. Okay. Now I can explain. Imagine here is an earth. Okay. Solar wave is coming. Solar wave is like this. Okay. On the earth, it's generate a heat. It's generate a heat. And then after, it will return. But we have one thing we miss is greenhouse gases. We have greenhouse gases. Right? So these greenhouse gases, what happen? They absorb this heat. They absorb this heat and generate, and earth become warmer. Right? So imagine if greenhouse gases increase their proportion, increase their percentage in atmosphere, what happened? More absorption, more warmer earth. Imagine percentage of carbon dioxide increase in atmosphere is 2% become 4%. 2%, 0.2% carbon dioxide become 0.4% carbon dioxide. What happened? More carbon dioxide, more heat absorbed, more warmer earth. Simple logic. More chlorofluorocarbons means what? More heat absorbed and more earth become warmer. It's called greenhouse effect on earth. Right? I hope you understand it. Okay. This topic is here, which I explain it as a earth, long wave and a short wave absorbed by earth's surface, converted into heat energy, emitted into the space, long wave radiation. Greenhouse gases absorb long wave radiation and send them back, and the heat earth's surface maintain the temperature. Maximum radiation absorbed by greenhouse gases heat the atmosphere, and very little past escaped into the space. Right? Now we have one topic here, atmospheric window. Atmospheric window. What happened? Most of the incoming short wave become a long wave. How? It absorb on the soil, then after return it. So its returning is a long wave and incoming is a short wave. Okay, so become a long wave getting reflected by earth. When absorption of a reflected radiation is almost nil is called atmospheric window. Imagine this long wave is will not absorb by any greenhouse gases. There is no greenhouse gases. At that time, the atmosphere long wave radiation will easily transfer, easily pass from the Earth atmosphere to the space. Right? So this called an atmospheric window. Simple tips is just to remember the thing. When absorption of a reflected radiation means this is long wave which reflect from the earth is almost nil. Almost nil means almost zero, which is called atmospheric window. So there is no greenhouse gases are there, right? Now we have some greenhouse gases detail. First is a carbon dioxide contribute 55 to 60% on which on global warming. Carbon dioxide contribute 55 to 60% on global warming. And sources are burning fossil fuel, gasification process, deforestation, decay of organic matter. These are the sources which generate the carbon dioxide. Then second one is methane, CH4. Methane contribute 8 to 20%, 18 to 20%. And source is anorganic decomposition of organic waste, dump garbage, wetlands, petroleum, agriculture rice field. So these things generate a methane, right? Then after nitrous oxide and N2O contribute about 6%. Source agriculture activity, industrial activity, and combustion of solid waste. So by these three activity we produce nitrous oxide. There is nitrous oxide is N2O, is writing nitrous oxide. So in this N2O2, N2O3 or N2O is all called a nitrous oxide. Okay. After chlorofluorocarbon is important, is contribute 14%, is contribute 14%, and it's highly stable, non-flammable, man-made gases. Man-made gases is not a natural. You cannot find a chlorofluorocarbon in the nature. It's man-made, and sources are air conditioner, refrigerator, cleaning electronic component, and spraying paint. So these are the sources for the chlorofluorocarbon, right? Chlorofluorocarbon is combination of carbon and hydrogen and fluorine. Carbon, hydrogen, fluorine, and chlorine. Look at here, carbon, chlorine, and fluorine. Okay, we have CFC11 and CFC12 are most common use. We have two types of chlorofluorocarbon, CFC11 and CFC12. Ozone A3 is 80%. Ozone 80% is formed by the reaction of atomic oxygen with oxygen gas in the presence of nitrogen. So it will be generated at a high level, at a high height of the earth. That's the contribution of gases. So first contribution against 56% CO2, 80% CH4, 30% CFC, 6% N2O, and 7% O3. Okay. Contribution by activity, 49% by burning fossil fuels, 24% by industrial activity, 40% deforestation, and 13% agriculture. So by this chart you can say CO2, carbon dioxide is the most prominent, fossil fuel is most prominent. So by if I'm thinking to I'm going to reduce the greenhouse gases in atmosphere, what I have to do? I will burn the less fossil fuel. Okay, I'm going to generate less CO2 and the greenhouse gases will be controlled, right? Then after effect of global warming, we have so many effects. Change in the rainfall pattern, rainfall pattern, drying of surface water body, conservation of fertile land into deserts, serious water storage, fall in groundwater table, change in crop pattern, growth of microorganism and spread of disease, change in vegetation patterns. By the global warming, these all the effect, all the changes in climate, all the changes in climate. Now global warming, we have a one more effect is the rise in sea level. By the rising sea level, your Bangladesh, I hope you can remember the Dhaka here. So it's a map of Bangladesh. You can see it's a coastline. It's a coastline of a Bangladesh. But in the 1 meter, remember, by increase sea level by 1 meter, your water will be here. And this coastline is submerged into water. Where this happened? It's happened as Bangladesh. I hope you remember that the Dhaka is the capital of Bangladesh. Right? Same thing will happen here. In India also, West Bengal. Some parts of West Bengal will be submerged. Right? Tuvalu is one island in the Pacific Ocean. Is island in fully submerged. If water level increase by 1 meter, Tuvalu island is fully submerged. Is effect of global warming. So many countries will affected. Most of the countries affected is Paris, France, and US also. India in the list, but we can say India in the Mumbai will be submerged, fully submerged. Mumbai will be fully submerged. Right? So this is the effect of global warming. Then after some effect is human health. Other effect like decrease in food production, adverse effect of flora and fauna, adverse effect of many ecosystem, adversely effect on heat climate change and rise in every temperature occurs in a different new disease. When the temperature increase, we can found a different disease. Right? These are the effect of global warming. Now we have one topic is here, global warming potential. Global warming potential is a warming caused by a substance compared to the warming caused by a similar mass of CO2. So in the global warming potential, what we do a CO2 as a base. And compare different greenhouse gases effect on a global warming. Okay, what we do CO2 as a base. We compare CO2 as a base, means CO2 is 1 global warming potential, life is 100 here. So CH4 is methane is GWP 25, life here is 12 here. N2O, nitrous oxide, is 230 GWP, global warming potential 230, life is 120 years. CFC, most prominent CFC, look at here the GWP, global warming potential, and life here is 800 to 15,000. Believe these things? Now we have some controls of global warming. How to control? The reduction in use of fossil fuel, promoting non-conventional energy sources like wind, solar, nuclear, hydrogen as energy sources, reduction of N2O emission. Then after increase of vegetable covers, by using substitute like HCFC in a place of CFC. Use methane as a fuel. Stabilize population growth. Industrial process have to be upgraded to release as less greenhouse gases as possible. Right? Now global warming is completed. We have on the GIS, Geographical Information System. This is the most important topic as a civil engineer. As a civil engineer, GIS, what? GIS is the computer-based system which collect and store data with other attributes and unable to use to manipulate, analysis and display in a suitable format. GIS is a computer-based system, right? Which collect and store data with other attributes and use to manipulate, analysis and display in the suitable formats. Okay, referring a map. Assume a map. On the map, yeah, here, look at here. It's called a GIS, Geographical Information System. So what happened in GIS? We have some different data, like first is a street data, second is a building data, third one is vegetation data. This is the data layers. Like you can see, here is a street, here is a houses, here is a vegetable cover. Right? So three different type of data, we combine it and make a one map. Is called Geographical Information System. By this all the data, if we have one single data and we are going to distribute it different parts. Like if I have a one map here like this, okay, but I only need a street data. What I have to do? I just remove these two layers and I can found the street data. This is used for the analysis, manipulate and so many things. Right? Now user can access any data of any place by a click. User can utilize the information for further analysis, planning, design and management purposes. So how we generate a GIS data? There is objective of GIS data. Objective like collected, analyze and manipulate data. Spatial data. Produce maps and plans. Maps and plans and other products in a standardized format. To support research activities by providing data and attribute data. To create a database in a useful format for a logical decision making for planners. These are the objective of GIS. Now we need some components. Like GIS, we have some components. First is computer system. We require a computer. Second, in the computer we require a software which combine this all the data, right? And we require data here. What do you feed in the software? You require data. The network procedure means analysis, and one user which control all these GIS components. So these are the components of GIS. Now we will discuss in detail. First we need a computer system. Simple computer system means a CPU, keyboard, mouse, CD, store and process present digital spatial data. Simple. Components of GIS. Software like we require a map info, Geomatica, Autodesk map. This provide a map. Okay, you not have to find out this type of detail. I just give this image for the understanding purpose. Okay, what is Geomatica, what is Autodesk Map, what is Map Info? This is just information, right? Just for the information. You don't have to find out this type of software and download in your laptop. Is not required. Just remember the names. This type of software we require in the computer. Third is data. Data means which type of hard copy, map or digital map, photograph, satellite image, tablets and other documents. So we require this type of data. Form of hard copy. Then after procedure analysis. To complete certain tasks, procedures are performed using hardware and software. Right? And one user. User is an expert with knowledge. User means an expert with knowledge which apply a GIS appropriately. Right? So first is a component, okay? First is a computer system. Second component is a software. Third component is data. Second is analysis. And the last one is users. So all these components is combined is completed by users. Users know how to use a computer. Users know how to use a software. Users have to know knowledge about data and some knowledge about analysis procedures. Right? Now we have some application of GIS. Application of GIS is water resource management and planning, transportation planning, town regional planning, archaeological location and emergency planning and routing. These are simple application. You can see this all the application is required one simple thing is called map. Right? Facility management and utility, population analysis, environmental planning, agriculture and land use, and so on, so lengthy, because in the every single digit if we have a map on this, if I have a map on the population analysis data, I can easily find out where population is higher, when the traffic junction will be higher, when we require solution for the traffic. Right? So these are the application of GIS. Now there is a one topic is Human Development Index. Human Development Index is the index. Index means a table. Simple. There is a static composition. Right? We stack a country by this HDI index. Okay. Index means you can see on the book there is a first page is index, which write chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then write a page number 1, page number 10, page number 30. So these are the index. Okay. Now what happened by the Human Development Index? There is a chapter 1 is replaced by a country. All the chapter name is replaced by a country and page number is replaced by a ranking. Right? So remember where they ask index, just remember this your book index. Just chapter replaced by a country and the page number replaced by a ranking. So in the Human Development Index we have 4 tiers to human development country for the rank. For the rank. So we have discussed the 4 layers Human Development Index. First is equality, equal access to opportunity, sustainability, continuity in opportunities, empowerment, power to make a choice, and productivity, human productivity. These are the Human Development Index 4 tiers. But how can we calculate? How can you rank it? How can you find a equality? How can you find a sustainability? How can you find empowerment? How can you find productivity? How can you find it? We require some data. So which data we have to calculate? Country score. Country score by a lifespan higher, education level and gross national income. By these three components, we can find out human development index. Okay. Human Development Index give an overall index of economic development. HDI is important because it helps us to know how country is doing. With the same level of Human Development Index per capita can GNI per capita can end up with a different human development outcome. Same level of gross national income, but change in the lifespan and education, country ranking will be changed. Contrast can be simulated above government policy and priorities. Just remember the human development details, they will not require how to calculate it. Okay, so calculation of HDI is life expectancy index, LEI, life expectancy at birth. Okay, life expectancy, if LEI is 1 where life expectancy is 85, is LEI is 0, life expectancy is 25. Okay, I read it wrong. Okay, not wrong, I read it opposite. Imagine at your birth and you live for the 85 years, your life expectancy, country's life expectancy is 1. Okay, if someone born in his life is 20 year, life expectancy is 0, is less than 20, it means 0. I don't explain how to calculate it, just remember the things. If life expectancy at birth is 25, LE is 1, life expectancy index is 1. You not have to remember how to calculate it, because in the country we have 1,000 people, lakhs, and we can say more and more people. How life expectancy you can calculate, right? So it's not important how to calculate, just remember these things. Okay, education index, we have two education index. First is mean year and second is expected years. Mean year is 15 is a projected maximum of an indicator for 2025. 80 is equivalent to achieve a master degree in most countries. So its education index is relation with the age. If assume 15 years means 15 years is a projected maximum of this indicator for 2025. So in the school, child learn for the 15 years. They cannot drop out from the school before 15. Okay, 80 is equivalent to achieving master degree. In the 18 years, a child is achieving a master degree, right? If this condition is fulfilled, education index will be increased. Okay, so in the corona pandemic, your dropout of school is increased. You see you read in the newspaper, but these things are not so much important, just for the minded. Okay, then after income index, when the GNI per capita is $75,000 in the dollar, and $1,000 when economic index is 0. Right? So HDI is calculated by this average of all these income index, life expectancy index, education index, average all this data, you can find out human development index of the country. The highest score of HDI is 1. Why? Imagine life expectancy is 1, income expectancy is 1. Higher score is HDI is 1. Very high human development score between 0.08 to 1. So here is a top 10 countries in 2019. Norway, Ireland, Switzerland, Hong Kong, Iceland, Germany, Sweden, Australia, Netherlands, Denmark, and these are the continent. So Norway in Europe, Switzerland in Europe, Hong Kong in Asia, Iceland in Europe, Australia, Netherlands in Europe, and these are the flags. So top 10 country in United Nations Development Report 2019. So I give you one homework. Just find out 2020 top 10 countries by United Nations Development Report 2020. I will not teach everything to you. You have to do something. Must be do something. Okay. Now we have an analysis pattern. Analysis we have almost 3 decades. Means 19 2017. How we analysis? For the analysis we require past year data. We require past year data. So in the global HDI value in 1990 is 0.598 and 2070 is 0.728. So means is increased by 21.7%. 21.7%. So what do you see? If this index HDI is increased, means people are living longer, more educated, and greater livelihood opportunities across the world. Across the world. Right? Same thing, remember about South Asia. South Asia was the fastest growing region, is 45.3% compared to East Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. But some countries suffered. Why? Because of conflict, economic crisis. What happened in the Soviet Union is collapse. So HDI fall. Soviet Union collapse means Soviet Union distributed in Ukraine and Russia, different parts. Different country will be emerged. Okay. So Soviet Union is in the part, cut into the parts, so it's collapse. It's called collapse. So by the collapse, Soviet Union means Russia HDI is fall. Then after same thing for the Libya, Syria, and Syrian Arab Republic and Yemen. H fallen HDI, effect of violation conflict. And this 3 country violation conflict is effect on Lebanon. Why? Because the Syrian refugee is try to settle in Lebanon. At that time HDI is decreasing, is falling between 2012 and 2017. Right? Now we have ecological footprint. Ecological footprint defined as an impact of human activities measured in terms of area of biologically productive land and water required to produce the good consumed and to assimilate waste generated. In a simple language, it's a definition. It's so lengthy and so confusing. So lengthy and so confusing. But I will show you some words to remember. Right? First word is impact. Second, human activity. Okay? Area of biologically productive land and water. Okay? Goods consumed and assimilated waste generated. So by this word we can simplify this. Impact of human activity, any human activity which consume the produce by a land or water, which consume a product by a land or water and generate a waste is called ecological footprint. Right? So it's a major human nature track its demand through ecological accounting system, is measured for human impact on earth ecosystem and reveal the dependency of the human economy on natural capital, can be compared at individual, region, national and global scale, change every year with the number of people per person consumption, efficiency of production and productivity of ecosystem. It will be change every year with the number of person is change, the production will change, person consumption will be changed and efficiency and production will be changed. So ecological footprint will be changed, right? So it's depend on the human nature. So unit of ecological footprint is a global hectare. Okay, it's depend on the demand and supply. So what is demand? Cropland, grazing land, fishing ground, built-up land and forest land. These all are demands. Demands means we use it as a human, we use a cropland, we use a grazing land, we use a fishing ground and produce something from that. And what we give to the environment, carbon emission. Carbon emission. Then after pollution, right? If we use a cropland, we use a fertilizer, pollution, soil pollution, waste, water pollution, everything. What we give to the environment? Nothing. We give the environment only the pollution. I'm missing the words. Sorry. Okay. So demand, we use these things. Then after supply, we give these things. We give only waste to the ecology. It's called ecological footprint. If you ecological footprint, remember the simple thing, footprint of your back. Remember you walk on the sand and your footprints are on the back side. So means what? You using the sand and print something back. Same thing here. You use cropland and give something back to the ecology. It's called ecological footprint. Now we have some ecological footprint like cropland and grazing land. Why we use the cropland? For products of food and grazing land for producing an animal product. Okay, cropland we use as agriculture, grazing land used for the animals. Then after sea area, build up land, forest land, produce feed. Sea area is used for the products fish and seafood. Built up land is used for the housing and infrastructure. Forest land is used for the produce wood and paper. Okay, so these are the produce, feed and seafood. We use these things. We use sea for the producing fish and seafood. And what we give? We use pollution. We give a pollution to the ecology, right? Simple thing. We use something and we give something. We use fish and give them pollution. Simple. So this is called ecological footprint. Means how much we consume in the ratio with how much we give. This is the ratio between how much we consume and how much we give is called ecological footprint. Now we have some suggestions to reduce ecological footprint. Means a higher ecological footprint means country produce more and more waste. Use of single-use material, switch to renewable energy, eat less meat, recycle with responsibility, reduce waste, drive less, use public transportation. Use public transportation. Reduce waste, recycle and reduce. 3R. Reduce, recycle, right? Now here some country for the ecological footprint. We have Luxembourg, Aurora, Qatar, Australia, United States, Canada, Kuwait, Singapore, United Kingdom and Trinidad. Have you imagined there is no India here? Right? So Luxembourg, Aruba, Qatar, Australia, these are the continent where we have, and this is the flag. Highest ecological footprint means this Luxembourg is produce more and more waste using environment products. Okay, don't misunderstand between HDI and ecological footprint. Human development index is a different thing. Ecological footprint is a different thing. Connect both things. Doesn't matter if higher HDI means country at a higher growth. If higher HDI, higher human development index means country at a higher growth. But ecological footprint is higher means country produce more and more waste. Okay, so isn't confused about it. Ecology footprint will be higher, the country will be best. Not waste, it's a waste. Country is a waste if ecological footprint is higher. So our first module is complete here. I give some practice question. Define global warming and explain the greenhouse effect. Simple line. You have to write down the definition of global warming and explain some greenhouse effect, which I explain. Short wave, long wave, reflect, then after class reflect again. So this explain it. Okay. Write short note of GIS and its application. Just write down the short note and its application. We not ask about components. So here is a practice questions. Okay. So our first module is completed. It's not about where is starting point. It's about your end goals and journey that you get you there. आप कहाँ से शुरुआत कर रहे हो ये जरूरी नहीं है, या कब शुरुआत कर रहे हो वो भी जरूरी नहीं है. जरूरी ये है कि आपको जाना कहाँ. वहां जाने के लिए आपने जर्नी मतलब रास्ता कौन सा सिलेक्ट किया है वो जरूरी है. ओके. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि आप कभी भी स्टार्ट करो आप पहुंच जाओगे. आपका गोल होना चाहिए, आपके पास एक पाथ होना चाहिए, एक रास्ता होना चाहिए जिस पे आप चल सको. आपको अगर कुछ अचीव करना है तो कब स्टार्ट करो, कहाँ से स्टार्ट करो ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है. इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि आपके गोल क्या सिलेक्ट किया है और उस गोल तक पहुंचने के लिए आपने जर्नी कैसे सिलेक्ट की है. राइट. So in the the next lecture we will starting module 2. So till then, goodbye and take care. If any question, just comment me. Okay, I will solve all the issues if possible. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.